Hey guys, how are you? Let's have a look around. Let's see what we find. There he is!
Yeah, I was just shopping. I thought, I don't know.
My mate stops chatting in my ear here as well.
Okay.
Because a lot of people can't make it here, so...
It's really quiet today. There's very few people we know here.
Really? Oh, that's good. Because the local yokels, talk them to go to death or something.
Well, there was a guy trying to argue about eating meat, and I was discussing it.
About?
Meat eating.
Oh, damn, I missed that.
Well, I was only there for a minute. I might go back to it.
Yeah, because obviously you've got plenty of info that they won't have. They've got the general idea, but you've got the unnecessary stuff and that sort of stuff.
Sorry? Anyone interested you think we should talk to?
There's a couple of the guys. You probably recognise them. You can hear it.
Now it's your choice. You must do something. You must receive Jesus.
You can't see him from the Skype.
Where's he going?
Moses is mentioned in there. How many times?
Is it on now?
Like cereal?
No. It's a coincidence.
For salvation. When you
There's old man, sir, but I know he's a pain in the butt for you, I guess.
So what do you know about
And Hassan as well. Hassan, how are you, my good sir? Have you met Phil? Hi, Hassan. Hassan's an ex-Muslim.
Possibly, yeah.
And Dave is here as well. So
Yeah.
three of us here.
Not much going on today.
No. Good job I didn't pay to come down. I was here anyway. So,
Well, maybe I'll have a wander and see
yeah,
if
if I catch you
if
chatting
you
to
see
somebody.
anything interesting, let me know.
Nice to see you as well. See you. Have you seen Jamie?
how the engine works? Of course it does. That's something basic. Knowing that.
Really well. I have. There is voices. I know. I have what's name. Time not over there.
It's not a perfect one.
Don't worry.
I can see him up in their light in their Skype here. I feel like carrying chair, yes. Get on his chair now and stuff.
How are you?
Good, how are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Hello.
Yes, I didn't want to stand in front of the gentleman there. So,
Onto the side here. Al-Bahar. Remember this, we talked about this thing. This thing Al-Bahar. All religions being one. We chatted about that, looked it up at one stage. No, but listen, he's not.
Get up on the platform. He's in the start speed. Get on the platform.
Let's have a look around here as well.
So the new Israel's run by people who work for the Israel with an immigration.
They all have an Israeli identity. That's not the same in Turkey. It's not fair. I guess the responsibility.
One, that How the live stream works if it comes out. We're only running at 484. So for those people who are watching, there's a big festival going on. I'll show you in a live stream. Have a look there. There's a fairly large festival. They've got everything set up in Hyde Park. So if it sounds loud, that's the reason. This is Baha'i religion. Is that correct? What's special about this? Because I've got somebody who's listening in, and is this the fastest growing religion? Is it?
We believe in all religions.
You believe in all religions?
And our job is to join everything together.
Okay, but if religions are contradictory, what happens then?
It's not the religions is contradictory. It's the understanding of them is wrong.
Right. Well, I mean, like Muslims, for
Yeah,
example.
and there's been a lot of errors made in translation over the years.
But for example, like Muslims believe that Jesus is not the Son of God and he wasn't crucified, and Christians do. So there
No,
seems
he
to be
wasn't crucified, that's for sure. He was there. He was crucified in the fact he was hung on a cross, but he didn't die on a cross.
Okay, so
If
what
we go back to the original writings, the word that was used was not a dead body taken from the cross. It was a live body taken from the cross.
And where did the body go to?
It was put in he come under Jewish law then, and hell was a cave where he was put there for starvation.
So he did die in a cave then?
No, he didn't die. They got him out. They got the stone away.
Okay.
The stone was too big for him to push away, but but these people got there and pushed it away. 2 or 3 men.
So was he a normal guy, or was he the Son of God? What do you believe?
We're all the sons of God. He said in his prayer, not my Father, but our Father in heaven.
Okay, so you more along the lines of the Muslims, that he wasn't crucified and resurrected, but he was crucified, didn't die.
He was hung on a tree, there's no doubt about that.
Okay, so that part you're happy with?
I think what happened to him, it's been proven without too much doubt that his father was Joseph of Arimathea.
Right, okay.
And that title goes to
Well, the big question is, if you believe they're all the same, all religions...
all come from one God.
They're
They're all one God, yeah.
What about the Hindus and
but
the
they
others?
all come to a different continent.
Yeah, but like the Hindus believe
so
in more than one
this
God.
continent, which is part of Europe, is Christian. It still is. If you take the Arabian Peninsula and the countries that surround it, it is Muslim. It's supposed to be.
Well, what about India, where they believe in multiple gods?
India is Krishna. China is Confucius. Iran is Zoroaster.
So presumably, do you only believe in the old religions, not like the newer ones, like Scientology or Mormonism? Do you believe that those are religions?
They're all splinters. They're splinters. Mormonism come from the Christian religion. It still believes in it.
Yeah, except that obviously Joseph Smith came along.
Yeah. But they were a splinter organisation, and they in turn have splintered up even further.
So
I was surprised. I had a meeting with a Muslim lady one day, and I said, "Do you know so and so in another Muslim group, a Mormon group?" And she says, "Oh, I wouldn't speak to them." And I was amazed. I didn't realise there were so many different.
So in this religion then, which you say is a culmination of all the religions, what's the purpose of Jesus? Was he a prophet? Was he just a normal guy?
No, he was a prophet. He was a great prophet. Yeah.
So he was like Muhammad and
came,
Moses
He
and all
came
that
to
lot,
the
right?
house of Israel. He said so quite plainly, and he did.
So he was a prophet for Israel?
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
I think that his father was Joseph of Arimathea, and that title goes to the son, and the son was Jesus.
So is the purpose of joining...
If I'm right, and I have never had anybody agree with me, but if I'm right, the Joseph of Arimathea that died in Glastonbury in Somerset and is buried there is Jesus.
Of 2,000 years ago, Jesus.
Yeah, he died in AD 82 at 89 years of age. That ties in with Jesus.
Okay, well, apart from what the Christians believe, which of course he died much younger and was resurrected, right?
Of course, they do.
That's
not right.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a small issue though, but apart from that. So why would somebody want to join this religion as opposed to stay a Muslim or, in my case, stay an atheist or be a Christian? What's advantages this?
You don't give up what you are.
Say again?
You don't give up what you are.
What are we?
Whatever you are, whether you're a Christian or Muslim, you still stay there.
Okay, so what?
Like for instance, I'm as a Baha'i. If you take me as an ordinary Baha'i, I'm expected to have a working knowledge of all religions.
That's a bit tough though, because there's thousands, aren't there?
And all religions are taught in the Baha'i faith.
So what's the advantage?
You'll have one man teaching the Christian religion. You'll have another man teaching, or woman teaching the Muslim faith. I was at one where a Buddhist was teaching the Buddhist faith, but she's also a Baha'i.
Where were you before you were a Baha'i?
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So what advantage did you have now over being a Christian and becoming a Baha'i?
I spent a lot of time before I became a Baha'i studying all religions. I'd already become a Baha'i.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I still do. But I've gone a bit further than just a working knowledge. I'm a teacher, so I have to have a pretty good knowledge of all faiths.
Okay, so the reason you came to Baha'i was because you could reconcile all faiths.
I can help join all things together.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a faith, what then? So I don't have a faith. How do I fit in? As a non-believer in a supreme deity, how do I fit into this? Or am I not part of this?
Well, you need to know why you're here and what is the purpose for your being here.
Yeah, but you're presuming, of course, that there is a cosmic purpose as opposed to a personal purpose.
Right.
So that's a presumption that you need to demonstrate why I should believe there's a cosmic purpose, as opposed to we came through evolution, through the process of the laws of physics, etc.
I study microbiology. It's one of the latest sciences of men. I've learned more from that than I've actually learned from the religion, why we're here. Many years ago, a group of scientists were discussing religion, and they said all it was a superstition. No more, just a superstition, right? That particular group of scientists have been studying for years DNA. It's a fairly new thing, you know what I mean? When I was very young, I don't remember anybody talking about DNA.
I think it's been around 50 years, whatever it is, but let's say the last 100
it's very big. Yeah, it's very big now.
Yes, okay.
They've worked out, with their great knowledge, that DNA must have 380 degrees of nanometers of nano light within the body.
So for what, 380? Well, we only get 360.
380. Okay. They were asked where did that light come from, and they said that it comes from the atoms that float around in our body. Okay. Now they are asking him, okay, where does the atoms get it from? And they are now saying it comes from the spiritual self. Okay.
Which scientists are saying this? Is this any recognized scientists?
So these scientists who were saying that it was a superstition are now saying, in actual fact, it is a fact.
Which scientists?
We have two sides. We have a physical side and a spiritual side.
That's yet to be demonstrated in science, isn't it?
It's like when I get my bank statement, okay? On one side is the money I've taken out, and on the other side, the right side, is the money I put in. If I've taken out more than I put in, I'm bankrupt.
Yes, that works in the physical world.
The same thing in the spiritual world.
Yeah, but that's your analogy. You've got to demonstrate that, not just assert it. You're giving me an analogy which works already in the physical world, and then you're saying, but that should work for the spiritual world.
Okay.
Well, we don't know that the spiritual world, whatever the spiritual world is supposed to be, actually exists, do we?
Okay. Somebody comes up and hits me on the head, and I go unconscious.
Yes.
On the ground.
Yes.
I'm unconscious.
Yes.
Okay. What's unconscious, and what is it unconscious of?
what's unconscious? You, I guess, your body. I mean, what it seems to me is, maybe not yourself, but some people, because we haven't got a very strong understanding of the link between subjective consciousness and the human brain, they want to kind of insert certain, or they want to make up certain conclusions because we don't have a firm understanding. Same when I speak to people here about the beginning of the universe, because if I ask you enough questions, or you ask me, we get back to the beginning of the universe. And we don't as yet have a strong scientific answer to these questions. But then we have people who come along and go, oh, well, maybe this is true, maybe that's true, maybe any of these things are true, but how do we know, or why should we believe they to be true? And when we investigate, it doesn't seem like the links are very strong. It's like, here's something that humans don't yet know, so certain people will go, oh, well, here's a plausible explanation, like that the spiritual world must exist, or that some deity created the universe. We go, hang on a moment, no, we're not there yet. What we should be is agnostic, because we as a human race do not know. So when your scientists are saying that there's a spiritual world, and they used to say it was only physical, and then I'm listening to why they say there's a spiritual world, I don't hear
everything has to be created. A picture on the wall.
Yeah, but it depends what you mean by created, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Reformed from existing molecules.
The first thing that I learned in microbiology was the perfection of our ears and our eyes. Okay.
You said perfection, did you?
Yeah.
You know our eyes are not perfect, right?
I lost 2 years ago. I could be sitting here and not see you. Couldn't see you at all.
Okay, cool.
Because my eyes have been blocked out by cataracts.
Yes, but you're suggesting that the human eye is perfect. Is that what you're saying? Not your eyes personally, but the
way it functions, it is perfect. Yet my ear is also very perfect.
Well,
you know, the way it picks up sounds and translates those sounds into hearing. It's an amazing thing.
I've got a different idea of perfect. You do realise that there's a blood vessel that runs over the...
A man came here and said to me, he's a surgeon, and an atheist too. He said to me, if I cut your body into little tiny pieces, I will not find your spirit. And I said to him, if I cut your body up into little tiny pieces, I won't find your thought. But you're thinking right now.
Sure, but we do know that thoughts are linked to the brain. If we destroy the brain, there's no more thoughts. Same with consciousness, right? So, as far as
how does things come out of the storage, which is the brain?
Yes, well, that's a question. That's a hard question that we don't have an answer to.
Yeah.
But jumping to the link that there must be something external to the brain, we need good reasons and evidence to suggest that's true. At the moment, every test we do with the brain, consciousness, our mind is linked to the brain. If I ran over somebody's head, there'd be no more consciousness, no more thoughts. And even if some people have had lobotomies and they've had some things, we see that the consciousness is either disappears part of it in some way, or something happens. So it's linked to the brain.
Yeah. The spirit controls the body, and that's what happens when you go unconscious. The body cannot operate without the spirit. It just can't operate.
What is the spirit?
If I had the power to take your spirit away from you now, you would lay down. You wouldn't be able to do a thing.
What is the spirit? Tell me what it is, because you're using that word as if you and I and everybody knows.
We don't know what the spirit is.
Say again?
We don't know.
Okay, so how can we talk about something we don't know about?
It could be thought. It could be our thought.
It could be anything. It could be a dimple on your
We haven't discovered it yet, but with so many things we haven't discovered. For instance, we like to think that a few years ago we discovered genetic engineering, but the Summerites knew how to do it 10,000 years ago, and we know for a fact that they did.
Okay, but
we discovered their library, and all the information is right there. So Adam and Eve wasn't the first man and woman. It could have been the first genetically modified people. Could have been.
So your whole premise is, if I understand it, is that you can reconcile all the religions, and that we have a spirit, and there must be some kind of creator that created everything. Is that the view, generally?
Yes.
So for me that doesn't believe any of that, how do I fit into this? What's your best reason for convincing me that Baha is true?
Well, it's something you have to come up with yourself. You have to do a lot of studying to know different religions, and you have to know a lot about different people, which I do. I study all kinds of people.
Is there one thing that you could tell me that I could go away and think about that I either haven't heard or that I might find convincing without me having to study for 10 years? Because presumably if that's true, it shouldn't be necessary to study for 10 years to find out it's true. You or other people should be able to give me reasons that might be convincing. Or do you not think so?
I would suggest you find something that you can't answer the question of.
Oh,
Okay.
there's millions, yes, what about that?
Okay. And then try meditating. That answer won't come from your physical body because it's not capable of answering it. But it can come from your spiritual self.
Or maybe it just comes from my mind, because thoughts just pop into my mind. I can't control them, right? We all know that. We can't control our thoughts. We just think them, unless you're a very high-level meditator.
That's what I'm saying. Your thoughts could be your spiritual self.
Or it could just be linked to your brain, right?
Or it could be just the way your spiritual self communicates with your physical
Can I
self.
ask you something?
I don't know the answer
No,
to that.
me neither. Could it be that we don't have a spirit and in fact the mind and the consciousness is just linked to our brain? Is that possible? Or is that impossible in your view?
Yeah, it's impossible.
Okay.
You can't operate without it. You just lay down.
What's your reason for saying it's impossible? Because I thought you would entertain the possibility that it's not true. But if you make such a strong statement that it's impossible that a spiritual
For instance,
spirit doesn't exist.
yeah. How come you can dream things and that those things come true?
Well, how often do they come true? Very seldom, right?
No,
And we know we're
for me,
pattern-seeking
for me, very
animals,
often.
So we only remember the hits and we forget the misses. So every time we dream and nothing happens, we forget that.
I've had a lot of very serious things happen to me, which is
See, if I had to do experiments with you and find out how many times you dreamt something and it didn't come true, and how many you dreamt and it did come true, I would bet my house that it'd be the percentage of not coming true would way outweigh the percentage that came true.
It could be that the things I didn't come true, I didn't understand.
Okay, but now your position is unfalsifiable, isn't it? Now it's like there's no way that I could possibly convince you that, or get you to question it in a sense that you might go, is this actually true? So you will always have an answer. Either you don't understand it, and it must be true.
I do it. There's a lot of things I don't understand.
But
I find out, I study very important people over the years, you know. I study all our leaders of the day, you know what I mean? I study all the great writers and all those people to see what they thought about these things, you see. And I was recently reading Tolstoy. Tolstoy agreed with Baha'u'llah, incidentally.
Okay, does that make it true though? Because somebody agreed
Well,
with it?
but the fact is, he pretty well agreed with all that I agree with.
Okay, so there's two
Yeah,
of you
he
agree.
agreed with. He thought that the Christian religion, and he was an Orthodox Christian, he thought it had gone off the tracks years ago, and that
I think that about all religions.
It was
The only
it was
difference
Shanghai.
between you and I is you just need to believe that about one more religion, then we're on the same page. Thank you, my friend. Very
All the
nice
best.
speaking to you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you. Love it.
I'm not sure we're going to get anywhere there, basically. He's convinced that we have spirituality or a spirit of some kind which he can't define, doesn't know what it is or what it means. And instead of being skeptical of that, he's certain of that. But he can't give good reasons. Basically. Shows you it's just another Muslim. Right, let's have a wonder, see if we can see catch up with Phil or somebody else in the interesting discussion. Is the Skype camera still working? Yeah, it is. Sorry. No, I didn't say.
The world is becoming more and more global.
Yeah, it could be. There's so much.
However, we haven't come to any.
Yes, well,
This is like what I'm saying. This is new science, right? We're going back. We're restudying things. Like we can't make it.
Studies have been done. We can make it something.
Okay,
Studies
cool.
have been done.
Okay.
And they show that vegetarians do not have to live with other life.
At the moment, that's what we're
That is what the evidence suggests.
At the moment, yeah.
Right.
At the moment, because what I'm trying to say is these are new studies, so therefore, at the moment, your evidence
That's what the evidence
Okay,
suggests.
fair enough.
Okay? But the argument for vegetarianism is a moral argument.
Okay. All right. Moral
Okay, either
argument.
one. Either one.
I don't think
Okay.
hunting an animal, for example, I don't think hunting an animal is bad morally. No.
But if it's unnecessary, if you don't need to do it.
Unnecessary. Now we're talking. Yeah, of course, we unnecessarily eat too much meat. We unnecessarily
we don't need to
I'm
eat meat
against.
at all to be
Let me
healthy.
say something. I'm against factory farming. Just so
But
you
we're
know.
not just talking about factory farming.
I'm against the way that people have healthy, unbalanced lifestyles. That they eat meat every day. I'm totally against that.
We're not just talking about.
I am not against eating an animal.
But here's the problem.
And I don't think
you
it's
should
morally
be.
wrong.
If you don't
You
need
should
to
be.
be
Why?
healthy.
You should be a Muslim.
Okay, why should I be a Muslim?
Because you should be.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a reason. Here's the
Alright,
difference
cool.
between us.
All right, what's the reason?
Okay, you've not given me a reason.
Alright.
Well, the reason you gave me about the Earth was a
that
very
just
poor
one.
reason.
No, your evidence was no stronger than mine. But carry on.
If my evidence was much
No,
stronger than
it was not stronger than mine.
How-
you
how
said
is
to
it
me,
not stronger
you
than
gave me a
yours?
statement that said
still
perhaps
on the
have
topic
extra. Perhaps, it wasn't even an assertive statement. It said could presume that it could have extraterrestrial life. I'm saying, what do you mean by extraterrestrial life? Are you talking about bacteria on the floor? Are you talking about some And then we went on to the, if I may add, the between choices where the moral where humans have are the only things that have moral can make moral choices.
Let me ask you a question.
You then said to me that, and actually, I can give you examples where animals do make the choices between moral right and wrong. And I then said to you, I need to go back to that because I'm not going to just talk about knowledge. I'm going to come and say to you, I'm going to check this out.
No, you
and
should
then,
check things out.
Yeah, and then I'm going to come and have this discussion with you again. And then we're going to see the difference between what you consider moral. All right, cool. But I hope we do meet again.
What did you say about animals? Did you say that animals have the ability to choose moral actions?
Yeah, that's what he basically
in
said.
some cases, yes.
No, not in some cases. Okay, tell us in what cases do animals choose moral actions?
Well, as we said, they have evidence for inequity aversion.
Or what?
Inequity aversion. Have you heard of that?
Now, what kind of animal are we talking about?
In this case, it was done. Experiment was done on dogs and on monkeys.
Okay, now you chose one of the most domestic, one of the most smart animals, or one of them is domestic. For example, look, if you.
Well, hang on. Which one are you calling, domestic or smart? Because the two are not the same thing.
Wait.
The monkeys are not domesticated, and the dogs are not the smartest.
How am I going to talk to you when you're talking over me? That's impossible.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, look. If we talk about animals, there are, like for example, you said dogs and monkeys.
Yes.
First of all, monkeys are made in that way. They are like the closest ancestries to us, right?
The closest what?
The closest beings to, like the
No,
closest.
that's not correct.
They are.
It's not correct.
When it comes to DNA.
No, wrong.
How is it wrong? Can you explain to me?
Well, chimpanzees are much closer than monkeys.
No, I'm talking about
You can look it up on a genetic tree, right? Chimpanzees are closer to humans than monkeys are. Gorillas are closer to humans than monkeys are, and so are orangutans. Well, they're not the same. Monkeys and chimpanzees are different animals.
To me, all of these guys that climb trees and look like them.
All of these guys that climb trees, that's a lot of different...
monkeys.
Okay, but to a biologist, to a scientist, a monkey and another animal that climbs trees are not the same.
That's what I was about to say.
Orangutans, all these guys, they eat bananas, right? They love bananas, right?
So any animal that eats bananas.
Long story short,
I don't like bananas.
Let's just move forward. It was not about chimps, okay?
Okay, now we're talking about chimps and animals, yeah?
Okay, well, no, but this experiment was done with monkeys, not with chimps.
Let's exclude dogs and monkeys,
Why?
including orangutans and all these guys, yeah? Because first of all, dogs have been trained by human beings, right? Some dogs that we have today, they like if you go back to their where they have been breeded from their nature,
right?
They were cannibals. They like eating meat and attacking.
Humans eat meat too.
One sec, man, please relax. Don't talk over me. Let me finish, and then you can say your point.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
So now animals, that's what dogs were back in the days. Through human intervention, dogs became what they are today, right? Okay. And then you have monkeys.
Yeah.
Right? Monkeys.
Yes.
They're smart in their own way, innit? Because that's the way they've been created, that's the way they've been made. That's the way nature chose, that's the way they evolved. If you wanna, I don't believe in evolution.
You don't believe in evolution?
But that's how they evolved, right? That's how they... Wait. My point, we'll get to my point, don't worry about my point. My point is, you said some animals are more moral. They, for example, a monkey would have sex with his mom.
Will have what?
A monkey would fuck his mom, have sex with his mom.
Really?
Right?
I've never heard of that.
Human beings. No,
human beings.
Human beings don't do that.
Wrong. They do. It's not true.
There are some cases.
It's not true.
Morally
They
speaking,
should, yeah,
we're talking about morally speaking.
We know
Morally
the difference
speaking.
between-
Well, hang on. Then what's your point?
Wait, morally
Morals. We're
speaking,
talking about morals.
right?
That's what
We're talking about
Where are
morals.
you going with this?
So you're going to come to your point or not?
No. Where I'm going with this, that
Go
why?
on, tell me your point.
My point is, you said some animals do have moral understanding and they're able to choose right from wrong. That's moral understanding, right? So which animal can you tell me today that can choose right from wrong?
Okay.
Because there isn't.
All right.
There is no dog.
Well, okay. Can I respond now? Sorry. Can I respond to you now?
Go on.
Okay. So first off, what I said was not that the animals have an identical morality to humans, because actually that statement wouldn't make sense because humans don't all agree on morality. Okay, right? So what we're saying is, are there traces? Are there some sense of morality that they have? Now you said we should exclude dogs because they've been trained by humans. You also said we should exclude monkeys because they are genetically the closest to humans, right? But that statement was false, okay? Because there's chimpanzees and orangutans and gorillas. Monkeys are far more distant cousins to us than gorillas and orangutans. And the reason why this is important is because the experiment was done on monkeys. I mean, it has been done on chimps as well, but it has been done on monkeys. We also see evidence of some form of moralistic behaviour in mice and rats. So I'll give you an example, right? If you give a mouse a reward, like cheese, and then you see, will it take the cheese if it leads to an electric shock to its compatriots? What you find, let me finish please, right? What you find is that the mouse will actually refuse the food. Now, a similar experiment done with humans. They wanted to see whether humans would electrocute their fellow humans, even without a reward. And they do. This has been done many, many times as an experiment. Okay? Right? So your argument was, well, we should exclude dogs, right? But even when we do that, we see evidence of it in rats, in mice, in monkeys. Okay? So the argument...
Is that what you call moral?
Yeah, I think it's a form of morality, yes.
The act of choosing was good for them and was bad for them.
It was not for them. In this case, they acted selflessly. Okay, they refused the reward because it led to the electric shock of one of their compatriots.
Look, birds. Look, okay. Some birds, right? Birds.
Now you can.
Well, some birds in the forest, they're able to choose what fruit is good for them and is healthy, and they won't die if they eat it, and what fruit is poisonous, right? It's the same thing.
It's not the same. You've misunderstood.
It's the same thing. No.
You've misunderstood.
No, it's not misunderstanding. It's the truth. Now the thing is that every animal has they have evolved in a certain way to
I thought you said you didn't believe in evolution.
There are two types of evolvement. For example, when you grow up you evolve into a very intelligent person, or you evolve into a very stupid person. I'm talking about that kind of evolvement. I'm talking about that. Because at the end of the day, this evolution thing doesn't make sense anyways.
Why doesn't it make sense?
It doesn't make one bit sense.
Why?
So now, I'm not very knowledgeable.
Well, you've just said a major branch of science doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But
are you aware of the evidence for evolution?
I'll tell you what. Listen, it's not even evidence. It's not even a fact. It's just a theory.
It is a fact.
It's a theory. It's a hypothesis. That's what it is.
No, you're wrong.
Now,
you're totally wrong.
Wait, look. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're telling me a little cell or little being that was in the water became a fish. That one fish came out of the water and it became all sorts like
that's not. If that's what you think evolution is, then clearly you think it doesn't make sense because that's not what evolution is.
What you're saying,
that's not what evolution says.
Does evolution say that we all come from a simple, one substance?
Yes, but over many generations. It wasn't one animal that turned into a cell and then into a fish and then into a person. That happens over a long number of generations.
You telling me that evolution tells us that everything comes from one substance, right?
Correct. Okay. That's what science says.
Can you tell me what that one substance is?
Yeah, atoms.
Okay, what did that atom become?
What do you mean? What did the atom becomes? Molecules.
And then what happened after the molecule?
And then it becomes organic molecules, and then it becomes life.
Okay, what was that life? Was it one simple life, or was many?
It would have been very simple.
What was one life? Only one.
Well,
particle?
are you asking?
Was it one particle or was different sex?
No, it was not one particle. It would have been many particles.
It was many
Of
particles.
course, it would be many
So,
particles.
is it possible to say that these different particles, let's say a butterfly, even though, like, obviously, you know, mosquitoes, right? They lay their eggs in water, and then the eggs become mosquitoes later on. Now, is it possible to say that these different particles of lights each evolved in separate ways? Obviously, we know, even us Muslims believe that we've been created from water. We've been created from the same substance. We've been created from earth, right?
Well, sorry. Well, hang on, but he's got it onto evolution, and I want to challenge him on this. I want to challenge you on this, right? I want to challenge you on this because there's a lot of evidence that evolution happens, right? And when I say evolution, I mean the same with modification. Let me explain. Well, hang on, no, because I do want to make this point, right? Right, let me give you a piece of evidence for evolution, okay?
Don't say evidence, but just say what you know.
Well, this is evidence. What do you mean don't say evidence?
Go on. Don't say evidence, but just say something that you know.
No, this is evidence.
Just speak in it.
Okay, I will speak, right? So let's take a prediction that evolution makes, okay?
Yes.
There are a certain number of chromosomes in your body, in all humans, okay? And there are fewer chromosomes in humans than in other apes, okay? So the question is, if we descended from a common ancestor with other apes, what happened to the extra chromosomes? They couldn't have just been deleted from the genome because the organism would die, right? There's too much important genetic information on the chromosome. So what evolution says is the chromosomes must have fused together, and that's why we have few of them. So if you look at the end of each chromosome, there are something called telomeres. Okay, so imagine my fist is the end of the chromosome, and these are the telomeres at the end. Okay, now if the chromosome fuses, where will the telomeres be in the fused chromosome? They're not at the end anymore, they'll be where?
At the front.
Sorry?
At the front.
No.
Where would they be?
Think about it logically, right? I've got a chromosome, let's say from here to here. Okay? My fist is the end of the chromosome, which are called the telomeres. Yeah. If they fuse together, making one new chromosome, where are the telomeres going to be?
It's going to be the other end.
No, of course they're not going to the other end.
You're telling me because I don't know.
Just think about it. In the middle, of course, in the middle, right?
You can't say in the middle because I don't know
Why
what you're talking. Just keep talking though. Keep saying what you're saying.
I'm just trying to educate you.
I don't want to be educated about some nonsense.
Clearly, this isn't nonsense.
It's
this
nonsense.
is science.
That's what it is. But let's go back to that.
No, hang on. Let me finish this point. Let me finish this point. No, I know you want to talk about veganism, and I do too. But this is important because we are related to other animals, and if they don't accept that, then they're not going to have much sympathy with veganism.
Okay. As a Muslim, wait. You're talking about.
Let me finish this point.
We're not.
No. Let me finish. Sorry.
We're not talking about being related to other animals.
No. Sorry.
As a Muslim, we believe that we all come from what's it called? We all come from a certain particle, right?
Sorry. Can I just finish this piece of evidence?
That is because we're all one. Everything was once before.
Sorry, you asked.
We're all from one atom. That's true.
You asked me.
But the fact that look, if you told me, because at the end of the day we are both from water as well. If you told me, right, each particle of life evolved separately.
There's not a particle of life. That's a misunderstanding.
All right. Let's just say okay.
Okay. Then let me try and educate you.
Don't educate me. No. You know some bullshit in your heart.
It's not
bullshit. And I know some truth in my mind. No. So now
it's not.
Let's move on.
No. Do you want to listen to the evidence or not?
Because you just talked about.
Let me finish the point.
You were talking
let
about
me finish the point.
Now,
I let you finish your point. Let me finish this point. I understand that. I'll let the conversation move. But let me finish this point, okay?
You're trying to prove to me evolution, man.
Okay, I will. Let me finish. Just hear it out. You can't be that close-minded that you can't listen to
it's
some evidence.
Not about being close-minded. It's about how bullshit it is.
Okay, now listen. Here's what the evidence says, right? Okay, so if evolution happened, what we should find is that the telomeres should be found. The extra telomeres of the chimp chromosomes should match up with a chromosome on the humans where the telomeres are in the middle. Okay, that is a prediction that evolutionary theory makes.
It's a prediction.
Okay, right. So then what we do is Then what we do is we analyse the genomic data and we look to see if the data matches what the prediction says. Okay, and what we find is that on human chromosome number 2, there's a telomere fusion site.
So what does
right?
that prove?
That is an exact match of what the theory says with the data. But not only that, because there are things in the middle of chromosomes called centromeres. Okay? The centromeres are found in the middle of the chromosome. So if evolution happened and the chromosome fused, then what we will find is that there will be 2 centromeres. and they won't be in the middle anymore, will they? Right? I'll show you a little picture so you can get an idea in your head.
On and on and on and
right?
on. Now you're showing me a picture.
Well, I'm trying to educate you because you clearly don't know what you're talking about.
Don't say educate me. Look, you're trying to fool bullshit. They're trying to fool
this
bullshit.
Isn't bullshit. This is genuine science. If you think science is bullshit, then
in one way, if you told me, like, look, we know that, like, let's go a million years ago, 100 billion or even more, millions and billion years ago, when the Earth started, we know that meteors hit the
okay,
Earth.
Look, let me show you.
And these meteors, yeah, they contained what? Bacteria. They had life in them. And by the way, at that time, Earth was evaporating and it had water. So once life hits water, what happens? Life forms.
I believe in it.
Right? Well, are you turning away from this? Are you turning away from this?
Are you going to let me show you something or not?
Look, the thing is that...
Sorry, you were trying to tell me you weren't listening to what I was going to say.
Are you trying to convince me?
Well, if you let me show you evidence...
If you're trying to convince me, it's a fail, bro.
If you will let me show you evidence, I will continue talking to you. If you won't, then I won't.
You're talking about prediction. I don't want to like put my mind into a prediction. I want something tangible, something that
This is tangible. This is real data.
But you're telling me it's prediction.
But it's, you're misunderstanding. The way we test scientific theories is the theory makes a prediction, then we go for data that we haven't yet collected. Then if we collect the data and it matches the prediction, then we accept the theory.
Can I ask you a question?
That's how it works.
Do we share DNA with tomatoes?
Yes.
Does that make? What does that mean? Does that mean that me and the tomatoes came from the same?
No, it's not as simple as that.
Right, cool.
There are more complex evidences. There's more complex pieces of evidence.
I agree that we are related to all life on Earth. I do 100%.
But yeah, you dispute evolution. But
the fact that I come from a monkey and a monkey comes from a fish and the fish come from something else, it doesn't touch. Because at the same time, from that same.
But then
fish,
how are we related?
From that same fish that came out from the water.
What do you mean?
It's the ancestor of a butterfly.
Yeah, this guy's. We're going to get nowhere.
Alright, what was our point? Alright, so far off. God knows, I don't even know where I'm at.
Listen, sorry, go ahead.
What were we saying? What was our point? 'Cause I was listening to you.
Okay, so we were talking about evolution. What's your view on that?
I was about to say that actually, like, the Quran doesn't state anything about disproving evolution. There are actually imams today that are still continuously discussing
the idea
of evolution. I believe in evolution. I don't know. I don't have much information on the matter. I haven't got the greatest amount.
Except that humans and chimps are descended from a common ancestor.
I don't know how it took place. I don't know whether we kind of slowly started to change or not. I don't know whether there is like a line between each creation, if you know what I mean, like a gap between each creation. I couldn't tell you exactly, but I personally do believe in evolution. Yeah, I assertively do. It kind of doesn't make sense because, in my opinion, one God created everything. So that kind of, in a way.
So why do you believe one God created everything?
It's like a very deep philosophical question. It's going to take
I know, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, isn't it?
Well,
isn't that the main topic of conversation?
Yes, but it's like that's such an open statement. That's
well, give me what you think the best evidence is.
Wow, best evidence.
I mean, I don't know what's happened inside.
The best evidence I can think of.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly.
Or your worst argument.
Worst argument. Well, I just go
whatever you prefer. You know.
I just go. I'm not going to give you the best evidence because evidence is too like.
All right. What's the best argument? Whatever you want to do.
Throughout history, we've got prophets talking about the one God creation. Prophets of man from all different locations, from all over the planet, all claiming that we came from one creation. Although like a lot of the religious.
So hang on. Let's just take one thing at a time then. Yeah. So you're saying that all people throughout history have thought that we came from one God.
Well, no.
Is that the argument?
No, that's not the argument. I'm saying that there have been prophets that have stated this.
Okay, all right.
I'm not saying that there are no opposite opinions.
So the fact that some people have said it, does that make it true?
Well, they're quite. We've all got to look into the history of all of these people, how influential these people were, how much the record, the things that they speak about. Again, like.
So because someone is influential, does that make what they say true?
No, if it was one influential, but no, I don't think so. No,
so
if
it was
one,
what the argument is.
No, I'm trying to say it's not just one influential people though. It's like we're talking about thousands of years. We're talking about a man kind of very, very far apart.
But okay,
having kind of
so
similar-
thousands of years ago, we had a lot of incorrect knowledge. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Right. So they made a lot of mistakes,
I
and they
agree,
can't blame them for it. We know more than they, right?
No, no more than is a very, very. I don't know. I don't think we did know. Not necessarily.
I think we know enormously more.
No, do we know how to build the pyramids that they built then?
Yeah, we can build pyramids. Pyramids are built today. Go to Las Vegas. There's a giant pyramid there.
Yeah, but not
called
with the
the
same
Luxor
not with the
Hotel.
same material, not with the same structure. Apparently, not even with the same error rate as the pyramids of Giza. That's what they're claiming. Like that.
Yeah, Graham Hancock says that. I think that's a little
Well,
bullshit.
that's it. You think?
Okay.
But okay.
Well, he's not even.
Okay. What about the locations of these pyramids? Like the fact that we've got images of pyramids created in South American continent, Brazil and stuff. They're finding pyramids in Egypt, and then not only are they in the same angles, the same positioning, they almost look like
the same angles.
Like I'm saying that
People knew how to make angles then, right?
So you're telling me
we
that-
know how to make angles
Right,
now.
So, no, okay.
We couldn't assess that if we didn't
I'm not
understand
saying that
angles.
they measure angles themselves. I'm saying that people that have had no contact.
Well, look, let's put it this way. Let's think about what people thought about the nature of the Earth, right?
Yeah.
In ancient times,
Yeah.
a lot of people thought the Earth was flat.
Yeah, of course, some
It had
people
a
still do,
solid
trust
dome.
me.
Some people still do.
Yeah.
Right, but we now know a lot of people didn't realise that the Earth goes around the sun, right? A lot of people thought there were 7 heavens. We now know that's false.
Why do we know that's false?
Okay, I'll explain to you why it's false. Right? So what people thought was the standard model of cosmology in those days.
Guys, it sounds like people are, the police are running, and it might be that they, I'm just going to have a quick look. Let's go and have a quick look, because it might be that they're attacking Tan, the gang guys. Let's have a quick look here. Because the police ran over there. Yeah. Oh, it must be across the road or something like that. Can't see. Closer? Yes. Yeah, I see it. I didn't even see this, I just completely deleted it here. There's something happening. I'm just gonna go and have a quick look here and see if we see anything, because we had police and the police were running, so I don't know if that's the Tan or something else here. So let's just have a quick look. Let's see if we see something here. If it is Tan, because somebody was saying over there that he was shouting nigger to the gang guy, so I don't know if that's been, is that what they were saying? Maybe it's been live streamed somewhere else.
Callum, you hear that? You defend man that's calling man a monkey and a nigger. Yes. Don't defend him, you know, Callum. Don't defend him.
He's been arrested.
No intelligence. No intelligence. What do you mean, bro? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? Don't come. There was no aggression on you. There's no aggression on you, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Fix that, man.
On today, boy. Welcome to Speaker's Corner.
Aki, I got you, fam. Aki, I got you. What's he saying, fam?
Hands up, defending, bro. Don't chat shit.
Yes, it's behind the red house. Somebody's just infected. This guy in the green shirt. Pushed him in the face.
Hey, like, I don't want to see you. Stand still, bro. I don't want to talk. Be a man, bro. I don't want to.
É mó,
What old man? I don't need to explain to nobody. Come on. It's you that needs to explain yourself. What? Explain yourself.
You're the same as Tan, rude boy. You're the same as Tan, God.
Explain about what? I don't get it. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? I need to explain myself for what? Who's saying that? Explain yourself.
Do you defend him, Hassan?
No.
He's gone overboard. Do you believe he's gone overboard?
He's walking away, so he's trying to get away, but everybody's just
Whatever number you want. Listen, I told times and times that this morning.
they're attacking him because the guy in the green wants to yes, this guy with the cap is really pushed him. He's got to keep him
Big man thing. Intellectualism. That's all great. Fine. Hold on. No, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. No, I'm chatting to you.
This is what I'm saying.
Bro, I'm talking to you.
This is what I'm saying.
How?
We've been down here.
You've ended my
Bruv,
You've
we've
ended
been down
me.
there before.
Why have you stopped me in my tracks?
There was no need to talk.
Why have you stopped me in my tracks, bro?
We shake
Why have
hands,
you
we
stopped me in my
squatted,
tracks?
we was nice.
Why have you stopped me in my
You lot
tracks?
have chased Tan outside the park.
Who's you lot? Who's you lot?
But
joking.
everybody here who's
No one,
followed Tan outside the
no,
park,
we
you
walked
lot chased
outside.
him out the park.
No one chased
To
no
the
one.
point that
No
police,
one.
to the point that
Police took him out the park.
to the point that
No.
police
We
had to
said
come. Right?
police was with him.
And now, the attention is on me. Why is the attention on me? Because
I'm chatting.
There's no need for my attention.
But I'm talking.
I don't care about all that though.
So what you're running off? What's wrong with you, bro?
No, I said what you
Just
say.
be normal, bro.
What
Be
you
normal
say?
how you normally are with
Brother,
me, bro.
what are you saying?
Be normal. Be normal.
Go ahead.
Be normal how you normally are with me.
Go ahead, Jedi.
Don't, because you're used to loads of people being around you. You're used to that. You come Speaker's Corner. You know what? You was looking for it to be sick today. So today's been sick. So what I'm saying to you is this: as you was walking by, I was saying, Rod, do you know what, Callum? There's no way that you can defend this brother, you know. And this is what I said to you, Rod, fam, you can't defend this guy, you know. And if you defend this guy, you're a pussy. And the reason I'm saying that is he just stood there and called, man, a monkey and a nigger. Animals. He's got his gal and that pulling my hair and that, yeah? He's come down with these white chicks, they're pulling man's hair and that. He's come down with 2 undercover officers, yeah? So my man is fully working with the Jakes. They've been there from the jump, they was there immediately. Immediately. He went to go get a cup of coffee, we saw him, I come up to tell her, yeah, what are you saying? Straight away, feds come out. That was it. Yeah? So now, so I'm saying to you this, yeah? Bro, as somebody that knows me, are you defending a man that's gonna call me nigger and monkey, fam? Do you think, what is it? What is it, fam?
So number one, have I witnessed you calling you a monkey or a nigger?
You witness it all the time.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Tell him you're full of shit. Tell him you're full of shit.
Just told me something new. I don't know that. Okay.
Oh, he says it every week. He talks every week.
Tell him you're full of shit.
He talks every week.
One thing I said.
Every week.
I know that happened. I know that happened. Yes,
You hear me every week.
I'm telling you,
You're telling me something new now.
How's it new? He says it every
I'm telling
week.
you it happened. I'm telling you it happened, and I'm saying you can't defend a man. And when I said you can't defend a man, I don't mean just for saying that. I mean because it goes with his previous statements about man, about black people, about us, about you. Yeah. So no, you don't ask me a question, fam. Don't ask me a question. Yeah, because you answered my question with a question, bro. You didn't even give me an answer. Get me? You answered my question with a question. You didn't answer.
How can you defend me? After my
Worth it, bro.
How can you defend me?
Come on, bro.
How can you
Why is it a thing of, why do you have to work brain for something?
Alright guys, there's 50 million people there. We'll go back to intellectual conversations, that's not it. So let's go back over there. But presumably they've arrested Tan now. A little bit of excitement there. I believe Tan was calling the guys niggers and whatever.
He goes over the top.
And they had a whole group there. And
oh my God.
Kalam said let him speak apparently. I'm hearing it hearsay, said let him speak. And they're like really pissed off. I think he's defending him. I don't know exactly because I got there very late. But
he goes over the top, Tan.
So
he really does.
Yeah.
He
Of
does.
course.
that's what he does, isn't
But
it?
that's his whole thing.
That's his thing. That's his
Jamie
thing.
made a good point, I think, which is he's the barometer of what you're allowed to say. Because he'll push it to the limit that virtually nobody else will. The rest of us would say, okay, we might not say this, whatever. But most of us who are free speech, we go, okay, he's got the right. Well, if he's got the right, then we have to defend his right to say it, not what he says. That's the distinction. The right as opposed to the content.
And I must admit, I've got the right not to listen to him.
Exactly. And so does everybody else. Now, maybe that's the message that needs to be
Yeah.
And everybody keeps saying it.
Vidu actually interviewed him on his channel, and that's the one upload I didn't watch of Vidu's. I always watch Waleed, always, but I must admit I gave that one a miss because I'm not interested in anything.
Exactly. That's your choice if you don't.
But he should be free to say what he wants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're free to walk away.
Exactly.
Somebody obviously hasn't told this Muslim brother here that praying in a park is illegal. Yeah. So I don't know who it is. Stops. But obviously this fella has not realised that praying in the park is illegal, or it's against the bylaws. And like you say, let's go back over here and see if we can speak to Phil in areas.
Personally, it's not that I would dispute with you with the Big Bang, with that, with this or the other. It's a dispute. Coming from my stance is that everything happens for a reason. Everything.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Okay, so what is the reason for if you take a lump of carbon-14?
Yeah.
Okay, it decays to carbon-12.
I don't know. Right? I'm not scientist.
No, okay. This is what scientists say.
Yeah.
Okay. It has a half-life.
Yeah.
Okay. So half of it decays. Okay. But which half? There's no reason for that. Okay. There's no reason for that.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's what I was
saying. But you said everything happens for a reason.
I believe.
So what is the reason?
I don't know everything. I don't know why.
Then how do you know that everything happens? Maybe some things happen for a reason and other things don't.
That's where comes belief, man, Phil. Anyway, Phil, give me a hug, mate.
Science.
Yeah.
Go and read some science.
I'll read some hadith.
I have. Actually, I want your help on that. Where do I find good English translations of hadith that are accepted? Are there any hadith that are accepted by all Muslims? Because I don't want to read the hadith that you follow.
No, why not?
And then he follows a different one. It won't take a lot. What are the hadith that are accepted by pretty much all Muslims?
That's a very good question. I can find out for you. I don't know that.
I would happily read those.
I know. No, it's just unfortunately.
Because I read hadith that are just nonsense. They're just pure nonsense.
No, they're not all nonsense. Some of them you will get.
I'm not saying all of them are.
No, you'll get
some of them are.
You'll get shit and then certain ones because of the
how about the one that says that you get a male or female depending on whether the man or the woman comes first? I've never heard that. I've read that. Really? But I don't know.
Here's another thing, Phil. You have to be very careful with, especially
nowadays,
with information.
Problem. I read some hadith, and some other Muslims go, "Oh, well, I don't accept that hadith."
No, it's not even that. It's just
so how do I know which hadith to read?
They can't say that. They have to kind of come with grounds and evidence to stay while they can accept it. However, what we find now is we're in the age of we obviously know that we're in the age of misinformation. There are a lot of people that pull out hadiths, and they're just like, who are the no?
There's been misinformation.
Right. Wow. We will certainly find out, Phil. Don't worry. But anyway, that is a fact. We will certainly find out. Obviously there are, like, anyone can kind of say, the Prophet said this, the Prophet said that, the Prophet did this, the Prophet did that. And there are, I can't, don't hold me for this, but there are cases where people are like, it's not authentic or it's unauthentic, and it's just like, who's the reference? Like, because obviously the hadith are based off on his companions or his wives looking at the life of the Prophet, and basically making.
So let me ask you a question about hadith.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit confused.
It's not primary, it's secondary, remember that,
yeah? One is a secondary source.
Yeah, definitely.
So a historian just wouldn't treat it too seriously.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
It's true, not even
Second
Muslims
off,
can know what's going
on. As I understand it in Islam,
yeah.
Muhammad is just a human being, right? He's not
100%
right.
just a human being.
So why should we pay too much attention to hadith? Why should we care?
Because he's supposed to be the best example of mankind. So obviously, we all know.
Kind of. It looks like you're deifying him.
No, not at all.
Like if he said something, it could be wrong, right?
No, it's true. We're following him. We're not worshipping him.
Right. But he could make. If he's a human, then he's able to make mistakes, say wrong things.
Of course. But a lot of people will say that, like, you can say that about Jesus, you can say that about Moses.
Well, I'm not a Christian, so
yeah.
that's
But
not
I'm
going to
saying. You know, that's quite.
They think he's God. It's different because Christians think Jesus is God. But Muslims don't believe that Muhammad is God. So therefore, it makes sense for the Christians to follow what Jesus says to the letter.
Okay.
But it doesn't make sense
No,
for
but
Muslims to do
because
so.
we're done because we're told that we are informed that Muhammad is the last prophet of God. So if anyone follows,
being, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Not everything he says is from God, right? Some of what he would say would just be from himself.
Of course, yeah, of course. But his revelation should be from God. You know.
Right. But the hadith are not revelations, right?
No. They're more like it's a good way for us to gain insight to how the prophet lived. That's it. It's basically and etiquette, like to say etiquette of a human being.
Again.
It's not primary. All I'm going to leave you is it's not primary.
Okay,
it's like the Quran is primary.
To me, it doesn't make
else.
sense.
Fair enough. It may do one day. It might not.
Because you said read hadith. I mean,
read hadith.
Why should I?
Because it's just I was talking. It was a joke reference to etiquette. Because you said to me, I haven't learned anything of you, and I was like,
that was arrogant of me, and I apologise for that. Okay.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Okay, thank
well
you.
done, mate.
He thinks we were created from water.
Well, that was one of the ingredients we came from.
But did you hear his rationale? Because we contain water, and because water needs to be around for humans, therefore we are created from water. That's his.
Well, we are to some extent. I mean, it's not the only ingredient. Obviously, if that was the only ingredient.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the things that is important for the origin of life, for sure. But it's not the only thing.
But they tend to use the word created rather than original.
Contains would be a much accurate word, then we wouldn't be even talking about it.
Well, let's see if there's anyone else.
One of the guys there's this guy you obviously don't follow speakers quite much, but there's this Chinese guy that's quite he pushes the bounds of free speech as far as he possibly can.
Well, we don't want to. We don't want to.
No, he's got the police put him on a bus. But Kalam, the one fellow over there, defended his right to say. He was calling a whole bunch of black guys niggas and
really?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's awful.
And they attacked him.
That's awful. Well, look, is there someone we can have a rational? You know, who wants someone that uses these sorts of, these standard apologetic arguments?
We'd have to take a wander around and see. Yeah, let's have a look around and see. Well, Hashim, he's spoken to Phil before. Hashim speaks to Phil. He knows Phil, so he's quiet as a church man. When Phil is not around, then he comes up with the same apologetic. He came up with them after speaking to you. What happened at the beginning of the universe? You speaking to him and explaining this, and he was quiet as a church man. How you doing? Good, yeah? You?
Don't help her.
Good.
Don't help her. Let her tell her.
I'll do.
Gosh. In fact, my daughter's older than you.
That's small book.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And there were slurs on both sides.
So whose sign is this?
What are you about next week?
That I can see
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm leaving now.
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, Steve. Let's say hi to Steve.
Well, that's a useful bit of intel.
How are you, Mike?
Very good, and you?
Good.
You arrived quite late. I
Yeah,
spotted you at
I'm
4.
actually working in London. So
Oh, are you? I
I've got
see.
somebody else standing in for me. Stops is in my ear here, so he says
hello,
hi.
Stops. Hi there.
He says hi.
Did you see them?
No, I ran over there, but I was late.
So I wasn't at the beginning of it. I was over here, and I suddenly saw the police dash over there.
Yeah, I saw them
And
running there as well.
So I made my way over there as well. And obviously, Tan's doing what Tan does, and I think he upset some of our black brothers this
Yes, I
week in
believe so.
particular. And as I was arriving, they were just chasing him out the park, with the police following rather in
Yes, apparently they
behind.
put him on a bus, but
Well,
it
so
was
is
the gentleman
that
who
so?
filmed it.
So is that? Yeah, hopefully there will be some video footage. So basically, there was a load of thugs surrounding him who were baying for his blood, and there wasn't that many police, probably half a dozen at most.
Yeah.
And everyone just steamed across the road, and there was traffic everywhere, and there was a bus. And the police forcibly opened the front doors of the bus and just rammed Tan onto the bus. And the baying mob tried to follow, and the police had to beat them back a little bit. And then the police told the bus to drive on. And they were doing that for Tan's safety.
Yeah, of course.
Because there
But
was
there weren't
a
enough of them.
baying mob of absolute thugs.
They're down there on that side of the park now.
Well, I heard Callum is getting it at the moment.
Somebody, one of the
Callum's
guys
done a lot to defend Tan this week on live streams.
Well, what I think he's defending, and that's what these guys are not getting, is his right to say something, not that he agrees with what he has.
Of course, and that's all of our
That's what
positions.
Callum has been saying, but Callum will have the debate that probably Tan maybe needed to have with the boys. That's what I'm taking.
Well, they're very emotional. As Callum was walking back, I've got it on video. One of the guys not punched him, but it was like a push in the face.
Really?
You can see him. He's got tattoos. He's a bit of a gangster sort of guy.
Yeah, most of them are, aren't they?
So
I already know who it was.
You probably do.
it wasn't Jedi, by the way. It
No,
wasn't
I
Jedi.
know.
Oh, you know who it is.
I already know who it
Got a
is.
green t-shirt on. Well-built guy. Yeah, let's see what else. We've got Phil here as well, so we're just trying to see if there's anybody of interest.
I was catching up on the Ultra cake.
It's a shame that guy's not available with
The
a
fight,
green shirt. He's kind of
basically.
a Muslim little talk. I don't know if he'll.
Well, let's see.
Apologetic. Yeah. Because I've spoken to him before as well.
Jesus confirmed Islam is a true religion by saying.
So you're saying that
This year? Yeah, that's TBS Day.
Thank you very much.
You and I have got a bit of manners. We'll sit by and listen. Other people just don't read. At least you know for future that guy you spoke to.
I have given my life to Nabi Isa.
Yeah.
The other guy was just like, Nabi Isa is my Lord.
Yes, that's the guy I mean, sorry. No, not the blue
This
guy.
guy here, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not true.
I would like you to have a conversation with Mansell, setting straight with because he
In the Lord of all lords.
all that sort of stuff. And thinks he knows something about it. He's half an hour not thinking all that sort of stuff. I understand there's a few guys here that I would find supposed to just I won't say never, I just find the guy. Yeah, I know. There are people like that, yeah. That makes it difficult for you to have a basic conversation. Yes, my man, Leon. Hey, live streaming. You need one of these. Now you can see what it looks like.
Okay, speaks
Next time you get one of these, get yourself one. You want that smooth movement, brother. So I only come down once a month. Look at this kid, man. This man is a pro. How many subscribers now you got? 20,000?
26.
26,000 he's got, man. All his hard work. Good stuff, man. That's awesome. Well deserved. Well deserved. Everybody respects COE. Who's that? Who should? I won't ask him on camera because obviously he tries to stay neutral. So I'm sure he's got his view on it. He tries to stay neutral. Do you love the stand?
doesn't take age of marriage. We can even marry 3 months old girls.
3 months?
Yeah. So
Where does
it's
it
Surah
say that?
65, verse
That's the
4.
Quran.
Yeah, that's the Quran. 65, verse.
What does it say?
Surah 65, verse 4. So you can divorce the girls who are yet to reach their period. So for you to divorce a girl who hasn't reached her period, first you need to marry.
It's not as simple as it's like a trade-off, right? You have this good, and me not believe it.
Never, ever. You can be a best vegetarian, still the best. See, the religion of Islam is so flexible and beautiful that I can flex. I can eat vegetables if I want. I can eat meat when I like. No, the victim, I am not eating it because I'm just for the sake of loving and for the, when I get hungry, if I fancy.
He is going to control all the satellites which the countries are sending the satellites up in the air.
They're going to control.
Yeah, they are going to control and they are going to create an army there. So that will be another force. They have a air force, they have land force, and they have a navy force, and they are going to
The airports are brilliant.
It's going to be sweet.
I think it's at this stage of our society, vegans are telling us we need to. I mean, lots of vegans just are vegans. They don't tell you, but they're making it as an implicit statement.
Hello, sir. I've seen your channel. It is, my medium, what's the name of it?
Social experimental.
That's right. Yes, you go around with a loudspeaker. Are you still doing that? Because I heard that you had to stop for a while.
I've taken a break from it, yeah.
Okay. You used to go around and have a chat with the police. And, many of those I agreed with, some I didn't, but I thought it was good to challenge them because most police don't know about free speech and stuff. So today, it's thank you for not reading from unborn children. You haven't got the everything's all right one with you today.
Not today, no. I've gone a bit darker since those days, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. Okay. I hope everything goes well with the other stories. All the best.
What have we got there?
It's weird, I don't think man.
How is this possible, Mahmoud? This goes against
That's where you stayed behind. When everyone was following 10, you stayed behind. No, I said, then why am I not on your head? He said, shut up, man, I'm thinking. Just engage. Fucking coastal mouth. That's what I'm saying. That's your laptop to speak to me. I'm chatting to you and you said, what, Hassan? What? I'm an idiot. Yeah, what? So I'm saying, what? Did you follow 10? Did you follow 10? Let me just have a little Did you? But you said it was a mob that was following Tan, and you stayed behind. So how come we got footage of you running next to Tan like that? What? We ain't got that footage now?
Embarrass him.
Running. There's no debate. There's nothing to debate about, bro. This guy's a liar. He likes to separate himself from us. Yeah? We're the ones that follow. But we've got footage of this guy here.
What's good? What's good?
Oh man, I missed it.
You missed it? Yeah, you really did miss it, man. Wicked.
Yeah, fuck it out.
No, this is all live.
Everyone's coming down there to try and get a little piece of paper.
What's up? What do you mean? Have you not been told?
I just came out. What happened? No, the only thing I heard was. I got attacked. Oh, so you got attacked?
I wouldn't say I got attacked. I wouldn't push it to that.
So then what? You're not trying to tell me?
No.
Don't like it, walk away.
It's true.
No. Don't walk around putting your hands up. You can walk away.
We can speak later if you want to speak later.
I will film whoever I want to speak.
Say that again?
I'll film whoever I want to speak.
Yeah, but if I say that I don't want to be filmed, then you come. Then why don't you film him then?
Well, I'm filming because you walked up here. I was speaking to you before. We're both here. You can keep your hand up till you get tired.
People are coming 2-3 with their cameras here, you know that?
Everybody is. Then you take
2-3. Wait, what do you mean selective? I do that to everybody that I don't know. What do you want? What do you mean to selective? Have you seen me do that to anyone before?
Brother, don't get worked up.
Why is he saying selective like I trust him, like I know him from his
sometimes let things slide. Let things slide at times.
Hey, what? No one wants to be attacked?
No, somebody.
I'm going to go through this curtain over here.
Somewhere here.
That's true. He can't choose his genes, but he can educate himself. It's not a priority for some of these people. Let's see if we can find something else. Say again. Yes, hopefully you'll stay on. I'll catch up with him again. I'll just give it time to relax there, because obviously the emotions are high there. So we'll give it a little while. It's a stream on just make sure. Give it another 15 minutes and we'll start. A lot of these guys put it with their hands as if they can say who gets filmed and who doesn't. And who films this for this film. Completely deluded individuals. Correct, but they think if they ask me what to do, this
got done by Jack Manske. Very influential. He was the guy that wrote the most scientific stuff.
I'm going to word this question. Submit to it. No question, just submit to it. Now, my point is science didn't start out with science. That would be like dying. Who's next?
So you have no problems with lions? Have you ever spoken to a lion? Not teaching you We don't accept Christians if they're not pure.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but there are quite a few police. I'm just going to walk to show you. Here's Steve, walking past Steve. And as you can see, there's loads of them. Let me just go into the light and see. I've got a wide angle lens, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 police here, 2 cars over here. Maybe they are positioned at different entrances to prevent Tan coming back here. That could be, might have gone that way. We put him on the bus, but no way to come back here. Steve, I was wondering, they've got the police here. I'm wondering if they're covering all the entrances.
To stop him coming back
in.
in.
Yeah. Do you know whose banner that is? Yeah. But I wondered who it was because Stops was interested. He knows everything about youth. Cool. Yes, yeah. I'm showing you that.
Done forever.
I'm just going to very briefly. Just have a look. Here's Maurice Procure, so you can read this stuff. Yes, yeah. So people can stop the stream if they want to read it, but I done it there, so. Is my video still on? On the Skype as well.
No, we don't. Could you yourself, just like with your bare hands, and your cheeks, could you go and rip a pig? Just like that.
I think if as we were growing, and as we were
and the way he did it, please look, brother. You see Abba's hand, but it's like our hand. Can never be like us, bro. How are you, sir? Good.
I've got a friend of mine here who's got expertise in cosmology. You want to talk about that? Because always Muslims talk about the beginning of the universe. So I'm wondering who would want to chat to him.
We need someone like Muhammad Hijab or Sabur maybe, because I'm not specialized in this.
Okay.
If you want to talk about the Quran, these things, we welcome it.
Speak about the Quran. I've got somebody who's listening in here who has read the Quran a little bit and is a bit of a critic. You want to speak about that?
You're talking to him.
I'm speaking to you, but he can hear me. He's watching the live stream. You want to speak?
Is he on the panel? Can I see him on the panel or?
No, it's not a panel. That's just the live stream. They can't make it yet. So people can't come to speak as well. So they live elsewhere, and then they like watching the videos. So because I know him, he said, we can talk in here, because then he can hear. Because people don't want to come online. He's also online, but oftentimes he doesn't. People don't want to speak online. So there's an opportunity to speak to people he can hear, and I speak what he says. That way.
We have spoken, and the last time we had a discussion, me and you, You have agreed that the shoes you are wearing have a purpose while you do not have a purpose. You have confirmed this to me and you got upset and you left me.
I got upset.
Yes.
Did I? I got upset and left you because the shoes had a purpose.
Because I told you your shoes has a purpose and you do not have a purpose. And you agreed the shoes have a purpose.
Yeah, I agree the shoes have a purpose.
And you agreed you have no purpose.
No, what I said is, you've got to prove to me that there's a cosmic purpose. I can give you my purpose, my personal purpose, but in order for you to claim that there is a purpose, that's a cosmic purpose that you need to demonstrate there's a cosmic purpose. And if you can do that, then we can talk. Then obviously...
So you are saying you have a purpose for your existence?
Say again?
You are saying your existence has a purpose and a meaning?
The meaning and the purpose, I give it, yes, that's what I mean.
But you have not created yourself?
No, of course, but I can still give myself meaning.
You can give yourself, but ultimately, the power that created you, it knows what is your purpose.
Yeah, but what do you mean by power? Because obviously I think I'm created from my mom and dad,
and
going back in
the universe has a beginning?
We don't know. That's why I've got.
So are you believing? Do you believe the universe has no beginning?
I'm not sure whether it does or not. There's a model that suggests it doesn't. There's a model that suggests it does. My colleague.
Which one you follow?
I'm open-minded on both. So I'm agnostic.
You are agnostic.
Correct.
So if you do not know how you can prove me I'm wrong or right?
Well, what is your position?
I say there is a creator.
Okay, but just because I don't know doesn't mean you get to assert.
But you cannot tell me I'm wrong.
Of course I can, because I can evaluate what your reasons are.
You have said you do not know either there is God or there is no God.
Okay,
you said
so
you are agnostic.
Correct.
Which means possibly yes, possibly no.
Yes, but I can evaluate.
But
right?
if this is your position genuinely, you can say, I can never say to those who believe in God they are wrong, because you do not know how it is. So how to determine this is right or this is wrong, while at the same time you are saying I do not know if there is God or there is no God. So you are self-contradictory.
No, you confuse them.
Anyway, Rob, nice to meet you. I have to go.
You've got to go?
Yes, because no point continuing after this.
Oh,
you are saying you don't know.
But you want to go? Okay.
You are saying you don't know, you are agnostic, and at the same time you can confirm that those who say I believe there is God, you are categorically saying they are wrong. Based on what? Based on no knowledge of you.
But he can assess your reasons.
Exactly.
Yes. That's the point. His premises says he does not know.
How do you
to say I do not know either there is God or there is no God, you have no valid reason to say for those who believe there is God they are wrong, because it could be right. You yourself say it could be right, it could be wrong.
Ahmed, I said I'm agnostic about the universe. I'm an atheist about God. I do not believe a God exists.
You are agnostic about the universe has a God.
Or whether it's eternal.
Can I ask you the question in another way? Are you agnostic about the universe having a God, a creator?
Am I agnostic about that? No, I would be more specific. I would be more general and say I'm agnostic about whether the universe had a beginning or not.
No, my warning is not this.
So on that point, no, I'd be an atheist on that point.
You will be an atheist about that the universe has no creator.
Yes, I'm an atheist in that position. But I'm
based
agnostic about
on
the beginning or not.
Okay.
Can you see the distinction?
Fine, no problem.
Do you
I can
understand
see now. If you have told me this from beginning, that you are atheist, you are not agnostic, I would have spoke to you differently.
I'm agnostic from the beginning of the universe, not on
you are
religion.
agnostic on the beginning of the universe.
Correct.
If you do not know how the universe came to exist, how you can deny that it has a creator then? If you do not know how the universe came to exist, how we can deny or prove that there is no creator for it?
So the reason I deny or I do not believe that a God exists, because the reasons I've heard are bad reasons. So I dismiss
doesn't
them.
matter. It does not. Could be a reason we do not know which is valid, good reason, but we need to find it. The lack of reason does not mean there is no reason. It could be there, and we need to find it.
Wow, if the universe is eternal, then there's
but
no reason.
My
for
point
God,
is,
right?
again, you are self-contradictory. You are saying I'm agnostic about how the universe began to exist.
No, I'm agnostic as to whether the universe began to exist or was eternal. That's my only position. Don't confuse that with other beliefs.
Fine. If someone says, I believe there is a creator who made the universe start to exist out of nothing, and you are agnostic about this one, how he can say he is wrong while you are agnostic?
So the reason I can say he's wrong is I will say to him, why do you believe that? What reasons have you got? He will give me the reasons. and those reasons that have been given to me are bad, contradictory, or don't have any scientific backing, and so therefore I will dismiss that. That does not
Will
mean,
you still stay agnostic or not?
Hang on, but that doesn't. I don't say that God does not exist in the sense of like I know for sure. I say I do not believe a God exists.
Thank you.
Now,
I
understand
love
the
this word. You said you are not sure.
No,
You are not sure. If you are not sure, you cannot restrict anyone of being
my level of
different
certainty
with
in
you.
God not
Something
existing
you're
is
not
very
sure.
high. I do not believe a God exists. So that means I have got a high level of surety, not complete surety, but a high level of surety that your God or the Abrahamic gods do not exist. Is that more clear for you?
You can claim whatever, you can believe whatever, but without evidence to prove what you claim, you cannot say the other is wrong.
Yes, I can. If you give me
based on.
Ahmed, you are confused.
Now,
if you give me reasons and they're bad or they don't have science,
your
then I
argument
can
is
dismiss them.
you are agnostic about either there is a creator or not.
No, don't keep
there is the creation. The universe came into existence based on a creator action.
No.
You are agnostic on this.
Let me say it again for you. I'm agnostic as to whether the universe began to exist or might have been eternal.
Okay.
That's
fantastic.
I do not know on that.
Fantastic.
Don't bring God into
fantastic.
that. That's another step.
Okay. Now, what makes you think the universe has no beginning?
You're not understanding.
Yeah, you are
That
open for the
question
two
tells me you
options.
do not understand
Can I
what
know
just
the
said.
reason for you why you are saying it could be possible the universe has no beginning? Why you are saying so?
Because there are scientific hypotheses that suggest that's one possibility.
Any evidence about it?
They've got mathematical evidence. They've got a whole paper on this.
And
it's called the Gotten-Lee model.
Can you explain it to us?
I could. I'm not sure. Why do you believe this?
You are convinced by it. I want to learn from you. I answer you. I'm not running away. But I want to know why you're making claims. While if I ask you evidence about them, you say you ask me back.
Let me make this simple. There are hypotheses that suggest the universe could have had a beginning. There are scientific hypotheses that suggest the universe is self-caused. There's a scientific hypothesis that suggests the universe is eternal. There are at least three, but there's probably loads
Can
more.
we use logic
I
in
do
this
not know
discussion?
which one of
Do
those
you
is
accept
true,
logic in this?
and neither do the scientists.
In this type of discussion, will you accept logic?
Yes, my friend.
You respect
That's what
logic.
we're all doing here, hopefully.
Thank you very much.
Science
Now,
organized.
if you are consistent accepting logic, now if I tell you this nice device you are using, it made itself. Will you
I've
accept?
heard this a million times.
I know. We can hear it.
I'm going to correct you
One
once and for so you don't
million
bring
times
this-
and one extra,
Okay, so once you've
because
done
it is
please don't ever
irrefutable
bring this
reason.
again. Right, go ahead, and I'm going to refute you. Please don't ever bring it again afterwards. Go ahead.
No, I will bring it forever because this is a
I'll
rock
refute it on
that
camera and
smash
then you know.
atheism.
Go ahead.
This is our best tool to expose atheism. Why you want to restrict me from my
I don't want to
best
restrict
tool?
you. You've got to. This
Just
argument is
simply
bad. I'm not gonna
expose
tell you
it,
why.
expose it,
I
and
will.
make benefit out of it.
Will you learn from it? Then?
Of course.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If it is logical argument,
Go ahead. Give me the whole story. I've heard it before.
I'm someone who follow logic.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. Go
Now,
ahead.
Rob, the device you have, it cannot be made by itself. It has been made by a human being who has intelligence to produce something like
I'm
this.
going to grant you that. Yes.
Yeah? The human being has intelligence that can make him create this amazing device. Yeah?
Sure.
The intelligence inside the human being, is this an action of randomness?
It certainly can be. And there's
Can intelligence?
Yes, is the answer.
Can intelligence?
Yes.
So we can have this machine out of randomness as well. You have to accept it following your logic. If you are someone who follow logic, you are more complicated than the device.
How do you?
Wait.
Don't make a statement. Qualify your
Please,
statement.
Rob. You are my good friend. You know, outside this, we are very good friends.
We are.
But
Please
here we
qualify your
are
statement. You said
on
I'm more
two
complex.
sides.
Explain
But,
to me
Rob,
how I'm more complex.
we're going to use logic now.
Some of us are.
This device is very complicated.
How do you establish complication?
It has a system, it has functions, it has very good features. It shows design, intelligent design behind it. Am I right?
How do we
Or
know?
this is,
Yes.
there is no.
How do we know?
Now, okay, can I
How
finish?
do we know?
I can see, I can judge it, I can examine it, I can learn about it, I can see intelligence. It has options. It's good, really. I love it.
Because
Yeah.
you've seen this before,
So,
right? And you know that they
it's
are
first
made.
time I see it actually. But anyway, the phone. I have seen the phone before. We
prior
can
knowledge,
talk
yes.
about your watch, your nice watch. Yeah. You're beautiful, nice watch. Yeah, I wish I have one like this. Now this watch, will you accept it came out of nothing?
What do you mean by nothing?
Nothing.
No. Because I don't
Thank you
believe
very,
the
very
concept is
much. What is more complicated, you or your watch?
I don't know. Tell me how I established that.
You can produce the watch, the watch cannot produce you.
Oh, okay, so
Do you agree with me?
Hang on. Okay, so you're...
So
Hang on.
well,
You said to me...
which one has more? Which one has bigger intelligence capacity? The maker of the watch or the watch?
How do we establish that?
By action.
Okay, so...
We can see the man make the watch. We never seen a watch make a man in a laboratory, yeah?
No, we haven't seen that.
Thank you very much. So using logic, I can say the watch is less sophisticated than the man because the man can use his intelligence to make it.
So your level
And
for...
it's a simple level. I'm a very basic person. I'm not a scientist.
What are you choosing to tell me that this watch is less...
It cannot be out of
complex
nothing.
than- What is the methodology?
And following it being less than you will never accept it came out of nothing.
Well, it depends what you mean by nothing.
This watch, can you accept it come out of nothing?
No, I think
The-
this was great.
If I get the maker of
Designed
the
by a
watch,
human
if I get the designer, we can find the designer of this watch. We can find his name and date of birth and everything.
multiple-
Yeah, it can be
Yes,
one.
please.
Yeah. I want to finish, please. May I finish with Europe?
Go ahead.
If you allow me, because I need
This
to
is
go
my
to get a
friend.
coffee.
He's
I
more
know.
knowledgeable than
I'm
you.
going to get a coffee and come back for you, but I want to finish with Rob and move to get my break.
But he's more knowledgeable than me.
I will come back to him, I promise.
So
But my point is,
you're not
Rob,
the smartest person here or the not so smart person?
I'm saying I promise I'll come back to him. But we are already in discussion. We can find the maker of the watch, yeah? And we will never accept the watch came out of nothing. Random action. You will never accept this argument. Or are you ready to accept that this watch came out of nothing?
Well, it depends what you mean by nothing, but no. I wouldn't accept it, but why? I mean, why would I not accept this watch randomly created itself? Why?
Because there was a designer for it.
How do I know that?
I can see it has a designer, it has a catalog and
doesn't say
everything.
designer, right? How do
It
we
comes
know?
with catalog. When you
this-
bought it.
If you were walking along a beach, if we had an Eskimo and this watch was lying on the beach.
Yeah. Should I believe it came out of nothing, sir?
I'm asking you, if somebody
Should
who's
I?
never seen this watch.
Why is that the criteria out of nothing? Who's
Should
claiming-
I believe if I found it on the beach like how you
nobody's
described?
claiming things
Thank you
from
very much. I know definitely it has a maker for it.
Because you've seen
So
watches and you've
the
seen
less
things
complicated device, I will never accept it came out of nothing. While the more complicated device, I will say comfortably it came out of
Who
nothing.
is claiming this is a false standard?
I am killing logic now. I'm killing logic.
Who is claiming that a complex object like a watch comes out?
Allow me to have my break.
Okay. But you're making a completely
I am coming back to
false
you after
comparison.
fresh after my break.
Do
If
you
you want to
promise
speak with
as a
me.
Muslim to come back and speak to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I came to your channel, asked you to join the panel one time.
Did you? If I
You don't know my name.
I want you to come on.
I say to everyone, Rob is a nice person. I said this to your admin, what do you call them? And if they're watching now, guys, because they said you do not know Rob and so on. These things now for Rob audience, you can see me now. You know those who know me in the chat. Me and Rob, we sit down before, had drinks.
Yes, we've had drinks.
And we are friends who agree to disagree.
No, well, we didn't agree to disagree. Go and get your drink and come
we
back.
do not agree to disagree.
No, I'm
So
not-
what are you going to do with me if I disagree with you?
You can disagree, but I
Yeah,
think
so
you've got bad
we
reasons.
agree to disagree. End of the day.
Well, you agree that you disagree. You agree that you
Go and
disagree.
have your drink and come back.
I promise.
Can I have a conversation with Phil?
Yeah.
Here's what I care about. What's true or likely true. If I've got a bad argument and somebody uses logic, which you haven't done unfortunately in this, I don't want to come with that argument again. That doesn't mean that Islam is false, but just don't come with bad arguments. That's my point.
I'll do my best.
Come back again.
I am buying books
I'm
now. I'm making sometimes, especially, I never used to study atheism and things. And now I'm spending more time than before to buy books about Darwin and evolution, about these things. I started a course, but casual course on this matter.
What course are you studying?
About atheism.
But who
Casual course,
teaches the course?
someone from Tunisia. He is online. He
what?
does not live here in the UK, but he's a scholar. He is studying to a scholar level. Yes. He has a PhD level.
He's a Muslim or an
He's a
atheist?
Muslim. He's a Muslim.
Do you not want to learn about atheism from atheists?
I could, yes. I don't mind. I can. I bought the books by Richard Dawkins. I have books at home. Selfish Gene. I bought it.
Get the big picture by Sean Carroll.
I'm reading that again.
And any name you bought,
Okay,
we're going to read
can I
for
recommend?
him, and we do not have a fair or anything.
Okay, I recommend Reality is Not What It Seems by Carlo Rovelli and The Big Picture by Sean
Now,
Carroll.
do you mind, please? Can you make a very short video for him because I'm going to go home.
Okay.
And
I thought you were going to get your coffee though.
I'm going to. But
coming back,
I
right?
want to remember. So I'm saying,
Yeah,
at
okay,
any
okay.
chance, please recommend us some books. You
Yeah, okay,
recommend,
okay.
and then we're going to buy this box to learn from.
Okay, are you
At
reading
any time,
Big
please remember
Picture?
us.
Okay.
Actually, I'm listening to the audio.
Oh, okay.
Actually doing the reading.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
You know, it's not so good.
Come back, or you're going to stay for?
I'm coming back. Yeah, I'm coming back. I really need a break.
When?
Maybe 10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes, okay. All right, cool. We'll see you then. Okay.
Gilbert and Sullivan, you say you must go, but you never do go.
Which opera is that in?
I'm not sure which one it's in, but it's a similar thing.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Gotta go.
But one more thing.
One more. A bit like Steve Jobs. One more thing. It's going to be interesting for him and for viewers. He's profoundly confused on this whole story, as they all are.
Right.
And he keeps doing the same.
Okay.
What do you think his confusion was? What do you think his confusion was?
Well, he wants to say.
The old watchmaker argument.
Yeah. This watch is more we are more complex than the watch.
Well, that's
the
true.
watch had a maker.
Yeah.
How do you assess complexity? He needs to give me a methodology.
No. That's not the best response, Rob. Okay, here's what I think. The watch just isn't like a person. People reproduce. So there's an ability for there to rise in complexity because of reproduction. Okay, watches don't reproduce themselves, so they're not like biological organisms. Biological organisms reproduce themselves.
Doesn't it? Because he's going, hey, we're more complex than the watch. The watch had a creator, therefore the more complex thing must have a creator. That's his logic.
Yeah. But as I say, the main response is watches and people are not like each other, and then what's the big difference? Humans can evolve. Watches don't, because they don't reproduce. So they don't have any opportunity to increase their complexity. So therefore, the watch was designed by a person. But you can't make the same inference that people are designed by a person, because people will evolve, right? And therefore they have opportunities for complexity to increase.
What about the response that somebody was saying here, that the human and the watch are put together, and then they try and put together God and the universe? There's that analogy. It's not a good one. Somebody's asking you about what's your thoughts? So they go, hey, the watch had and the universe must have had a creator as well. This is more complex than a human.
Well, it depends what you mean by it's more complex than a human. I mean, you can describe a lot of stuff in cosmology with very simple equations. It seems to be considerably less complex than a biological organism. Of course, the biological organisms are in the universe, right? But it didn't start off that way. It started off as a very simple soup of matter and radiation, and complexity increased over time. Yeah. Hello. So the example, of course, that Sean Carroll gives, a very good one. Like you have a cup of coffee, you pour the milk in. What happens? You mix it up, and then it was simple, and then it was simple. Where was the complexity? In the middle, right? It's not at either end. It's in the middle. Okay. So same with the universe. Where's the complexity? It's not right at the beginning. You have to wait for complex things to form, right? So at the beginning of the universe is very simple. Yeah. Then complex systems evolve, and then they'll go back. It'll go back to, not very complex at the end.
I think it's if your criteria is something complex needs a creator, then you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, because then God is complex and it needs.
Well, they'll claim that God is not complex. They'll claim that God is simple. But I think the problem with that is everything we know about conscious beings is that they are complex. So you'd have to say, well, something's very different about God. But if something's very different in this big question thing, then why are you appealing to a designer? Because you're saying, by appealing to a designer, you're saying, well, things are the same. But then when I ask you, well, does God have a brain? No. Well, so it's not the same. So they're picking and choosing what's the same. It's very inconsistent, and that's the problem with the design argument.
How do you deal with the problem of morality?
Well, okay, so how do I deal with the problem? So the claim made by theists is that you need God to give morality, and I think that's just false. I mean, first off, I don't see how God does give morality, just because there's a God. Like they say, well, there's a problem getting an ought from an is, and that's true, right? But adding a supernatural doesn't change that at all. You still have a problem getting an ought from an is. So one, I don't see at all how God gets you morality. You're just saying God doesn't get you morality. Now, how do you then get morality? I mean, personally, I think it's something maybe we learn. We are human beings have the ability to learn, okay? And we have other moral instincts too, right? So combine. Sorry? Well, no, but the problem with that is you're assuming that you can't learn preferred strategies. So if you think I think of it like game theory. So in game theory, you can show that there are strategies that are better than other strategies. It's not necessarily you can't necessarily prove objectively that. I don't know of a proof that says this opening move in chess is better than that one, right? But from experience, you can learn that opening move is better,
but then
right?
How do you decide what is moral and what is not moral? So the age-old
I think you decide from two things: your ability to learn and your experience. Sorry, three things, and your moral instincts. Right.
But how do you deal with something like incest? You know, the age-old.
I don't think there is anything wrong with incest.
Nothing wrong with incest.
I don't see anything wrong with it at all. Why? What's wrong with it?
And in fact, God sanctioned it.
God sanctioned it?
Well, in the beginning it did, because how else could the human race get going?
You mean Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah. So when did he change his mind?
Yeah.
1 minute.
Right, let me
1 minute's immoral.
see.
Have a quick wander around.
Well, you call me if he comes back.
You're going to be here, right, floating about?
Yeah, certainly for the. Oh yeah, I got a new one. Yeah.
It's the one
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Let's have a quick
I'll
wander.
find you here in a moment. Yeah. Okay. He walked away. Say again. Steve did what? Steve, you mean Steve Speaker's Corner, Steve? He was wandering around yet somewhere. Just tell the people in the chat that I can't see their chat, so I'm not going to be able to respond. It's not that I don't want to, it's just not easy to keep an eye on it. Hopefully the video's on for you.
I'm not. But if he gets killed here, it's me that goes to jail. Me. No.
Raven didn't come this week. I think that Raven was ahead. No, we're going to do it. We're going to do Arsenal now. We're going to do Arsenal. I love that.
Amy's having a check for the policeman.
Listen to me. Well, he doesn't. Not him, but his lot don't do a very good job of protecting
that's
me.
not a debate I'm having
They
with you.
protect Muslims,
My
but they don't protect me.
My debate is that you might do something to protect
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. No, you don't.
Okay.
So, bye-bye.
Okay, how do I not know what I'm doing? Tell me. Do you want me to put my ID in that? I'm 18, so shut up. Don't
I'll get you
start
my
with
email address. Come up, son. We're going to have a coffee and talk.
It's all about protecting sometimes as well. You've got to protect each other.
Oh, you're.
there's like a
Yes. Well, what is it? It starts off in Yes, well, I wonder if it was influenced by that. Hey, Rob!
How are you?
Hi. We were just wondering if the obelisk in the beginning scene of 2001
Nice to meet you, Rob. Nice to meet you.
was influenced by the, what's it, the car bar. What do you think,
like
Rob?
circumambulation. Was it circumambulation around obelisk-like stuff?
Yeah.
I'm live streaming, so I'm going to wander around.
You're live streaming?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I thought you might be. That's right to
the
you.
cable here. Hey, you Nazi bastard, what are you doing here? So it's very loud over there, guys. So if you can't hear it, very loud over there. There's a big event going on over there. Let's take a wander. See what we can see. As it gets night time, it's not quite as friendly.
You're on YouTube?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I wonder if Mohammed's actually going to come back. Let's speak 2 stops. Hey, it's very exciting. Very good. What's back there? Probably have to have a ring of protection in there. Not as bad. You're not as bad as Steve. Yes,
every single person in the world, even the Prophet himself, everyone has got to cross over the fire to get to heaven. That's why there's a verse in the Quran that says, and there's none except that they will be crossed over hell. Now this line over hellfire is 5,000 years. 1,000 years up, 1,000 years straight, 1,000 years down. It is sharper than a sword. It is thinner than a hair. How many have you all have to cross this to get to heaven?
10,000.
Extremely loud with the. Sorry, stop it. Can you say that? Yeah, no, I can hear that. The music is just so loud. You can't hear the music.
Why would you choose to do that if you're going to what is my politics?
You know, there's parts of the world where people are occupied to
Just got to carry around the TV, right? Doesn't power like a battery or something. Nice.
So if I now tell you, I come from a really long and then they always
No, you think killing an animal does not harm them. It's not causing suffering. You kill an animal. Is that your position? That's what you just said.
Now, your emotional
Hard to see here.
is this. You shift it.
So this TV is showing the brutality of animals, how they are factory farmed and all that sort of stuff.
Very happy in
this is all filmed in the UK, and it's industry standard as well. So it's filmed in around 100 different slaughterhouses and farms here.
farm might have about 30,000.
Should give that up, eh?
Do you think it's necessary for us to be consuming animal products?
There's exactly causes of this in the world, and they're starving, so you have to provide a cheap source of food for them. I think it is cruel, and a lot of the birds are very diseased, they're very sick. Recently there's farms in Nigeria, and about 6,000 birds were killed the rain.
It's also unnecessary.
It's easy for us to say that, but when you're hungry, what do you do when people are hungry? Do you understand the problem?
80% of the crops that we grow today currently go towards feeding livestock.
Yeah, that's right.
For us,
Well, Americans consume 1 billion cows a year.
So we currently are producing already enough crops to feed over 10 billion people.
That's right.
What, 7.5 billion?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're overproducing.
Yeah.
No, what you're saying, I agree with you.
But we are producing enough right
But
now.
how do we stop people from being hungry? Because it's easy for us to say that in Europe. You can go to the shop and you can go and buy your produce. But imagine if you have to grow your own produce and you have to feed, you're a single mother and you have to feed 5 children. Chicken is a good form of protein and it's not expensive. And that's why it's one of the only affordable meats people can have.
It's not expensive to eat a whole food-based diet either. You look at some of the cheapest foods that money can buy, foods like beans, pulses, legumes, grains, pastas.
But are they going to give you the nutrition to be able to survive?
Absolutely. The World Health Organization, the NHS, the Dietetic Association of Britain and the United States.
So are you vegan?
Yeah.
You're a vegan, okay.
I've been vegan for 7 years. I get a blood test done every year. Because I think it's something that generally...
Yeah, no, I do understand where you're coming from, but people do need meat, especially in the third world. They don't get as much protein as you get. You've also got the choice of getting produce out of season. You can't get that in the middle of the Ivory Coast of Nigeria.
I will acknowledge that there are some people in the world where veganism isn't accessible. However, just because someone else can't go vegan isn't a reason that you can't go vegan yourself. Us as a society, we are privileged. Veganism is available to a wide range of people, not just us living in the westernized world. But even if it wasn't, accessible to those other people, we live in a society where we know that there's an abundance of other alternatives.
See this here, you see this worm?
We're supporting when we're buying from these industries. So if it's not necessary, we don't need to be doing it, we don't need to be supporting it.
Definitely in Europe and America, but it's difficult in Africa because sometimes chicken is the only form of meat someone's ever going to eat. They can't afford beef, they can't afford lamb, so they'll have chicken. And then from the chicken, lots of other byproducts come from it. So from the...
Yeah, I know. Well, there's still people that will argue. Strangely enough. I know. Welcome to Speaker's Corner. It's not the intellectual hub of planet Earth. What would be good if Ahmed goes back and speaks to Phil. I'm not sure he'll change his mind. I know.
Don't manipulate me, bro. I never said I had a problem with it.
Let's see if we can catch up. Hopefully, Phil's still here. It's been 15 minutes.
Give me an explanation of
Well, you tell me what you
know. No. You know why you call. Let me be serious. You know this general story that it is haram, but because...
Okay guys, it's 2 hours. I'm going to stop this stream so I can ensure that the stream works. So look out in about 10-15 seconds or 1 minute at the most. I'll start a new stream just so that we don't have like 6 hours straight. So I'll be back on a live stream version 2 in about a minute.
They regarded the